Bad at video games. Hopefully this isn't like crazy loud because I have the mic turned up. Hey everybody, I'll have more Dark Souls 2 videos coming soon. I actually did beat the game, so I got a ton of footage to edit down and share with you. In the meantime, I've been playing Cuphead and wanted to share some thoughts. I'm getting pretty close to bouncing off the game and figure doing a commentary on the section that I've gotten through thus far might help me decide whether to continue to try and get better or to dive into an easier game like Dark Souls 3. So we got these vegetables. This boss was pretty doable. I actually went to the next boss first and wasn't able to beat him. But basically, Cuphead, if you know, you've been living under a rock, it's this awesome animation style, but done in you know, a boss sort of boss after boss, not necessarily a boss rush, but like you're fighting just boss after boss with a couple of run and gun platforming levels, which I'll show you the one that I've beaten in a little bit. And it's you know, super crazy hard difficult. So what you just saw took a good 45 minutes or an hour to get the hang of. This guy here, very relatively doable, although like his bounces are much less predictable than you normally would in would see in a game like this. That's a big thing about this game, is like I feel like you have to learn the patterns, but the patterns are a lot more complicated than you'd normally have. You know, he gets bigger. Oh, the cat's coming to visit. That's nice. I'm not going to edit that out because this is just a commentary of the video that I already edited. So, you know, it is what it is. You guys get to see a cat for a second. That's Akmina. But yeah, it took me forever to beat this guy. I actually did beat him on the easy mode. There's an easy mode, but that makes the bosses a little bit more beatable. But when you beat the boss, it doesn't give you their soul contract, because you are basically, the premise of this is that you lost your soul to the devil in a card game, or not a card game, in a dice game. He says if you can go around and collect all the debtors, all the people that owe him their soul, then you can not have your soul or whatever. And so you know, that's all the bosses. But if you beat them on easy mode, it doesn't count for the soul. It does open up the next stage of the map. So maybe there's an argument to go through and beat all the bosses on easy mode first, and then that will give you the hang of things. I don't know. So as we see, I beat that one. So then, yeah, here's the run and gun level. You can see I'm using the spread gun. You can buy additional guns. They got a little shop that they do different things. So this one obviously shoots in more directions. But for the first, I don't know. I mean, granted, like you know, this is probably the same thing in like those old Star Wars platformers for Super Nintendo. But it's just these run and gun levels that are just like so chaotic, and the enemies are respawning constantly until you kind of memorize the level. And like I don't know. I think I prefer games like I would rather a game where actually get good at the mechanics as opposed to just memorizing the layout. Although there is a good feeling, I think this time through, I was good enough at the early parts of the level that I was just like going by muscle memory. So it's definitely there's definitely an argument for it. So those coins are used to purchase upgrades at the shop thing. This was really frustrating the first couple times I got to it because I felt like when I saw the thing that was shooting the acorn machine thing that I was getting to the end of the level, and there's all these extra platforming challenges here. But I did make it to the end. Oh, that's a thing there. So what I just did there was like a super shot. You're supposed to when you push a button to like, it's supposed to like zoom you forward, but sometimes I feel like it randomly does the super shot when it should be zooming you forward. This is a Mauseleum. I'm parrying. They're teaching you how to parry here. Anything pink in the game, you can, if you hit the jump button a second time, you can parry it, and it leads to bonuses and things. I wish that parrying would like give you extra health or something. It doesn't. It increases your super meter, although it doesn't in this level, because this level the whole thing is parrying. And then this lady talks for a little while. I probably should have cut it out, but whatever. It's a my video. I'll get better at editing these things down eventually. And yeah, again, like, I am dying constantly in this game, and every little clip demonstrates, a dozen tries or so. These guys were pretty rough. A struggle with this level was it wasn't immediately clear who I shoot at and what counts as shots. Eventually I realized that at least in this part of it, it's you shoot at the guys. If you hit either one of them, they'll take damage. They have a shared. I wish that this game had a health bar for the bosses. I mean, I understand. I understand that like their goal was to make it hard. But it really, and I'm far from the first person to say this, but it really is a shame how punishingly difficult the game is with such a charming art aesthetic. The music and the announcer and everything are pretty good, but they're very, very, very repetitive. I feel like if you're gonna have a difficult game like this, maybe you should be a little less repetitive. So this part was weird. You have to parry the boxing gloves. And sometimes it comes out with these platforms, but sometimes it comes out with red platforms that are really hard to navigate and orange platforms that are pretty hard. And again, because you're dying and dying and dying and dying in this, you basically just have to keep going. Like, I got really lucky here and got 2 greens in a row, and I wouldn't have been able to beat it with if I'd have gotten any oranges or reds. And certainly not with 1 hit point. So it's like you're playing these like super repetitive until you get lucky. I don't know. It's just something about it isn't as great. Like there, I would have just died right there, but I was able to. I got the knockout in. Now this level was kind of interesting because they give you your plane, and I guess there's a lot of plane games. I have never been good at these like flying shoot 'em ups, the Gradius type games. anything beyond Space Invaders. I'm really not great at, but this level was like where I kind of started to see what the game was aiming at, because I did actually, like, it is pretty elaborate, and I did actually feel like I was getting to where I was playing well by the end. So I'm still, yeah, I'm just on the fence. I'll say I bought it on Steam and it wouldn't load on my computer. And I did all kinds of troubleshooting and couldn't get it to load. So I bought it on PS4, and I think that's part of the problem. If I had gotten it on Switch, because I bought it for PS4 because it'd be easier to capture. If I had gotten it on Switch and been able to, like, kind of, you know, pick it up and put it down, because these boss fights, even though they're really hard, you can see they're pretty short. Each run is pretty short, so you die real fast. Maybe that would have been the better call. But as it is, I have to, like, really, you know, sit down and play PlayStation, and it just doesn't feel like I make that much progress. You know, I don't think I've had a session where I didn't make some kind of progress during the session. But like, it's not like you're, you know, running across an open world, or, you know, power through five levels. It is, the whole game is you banging your head against the wall against these bosses, and then also the insanely difficult run and gun stages. And here even, you see, I died right as I killed her. Now, fortunately, it did count. Then we got this guy here. So this is, admittedly, he's the last boss of the first section. So my hope is that he's maybe like a little bit of a difficult spike kind of thing. But as you will see here, I died, and 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 I died. And then I looked around the whole overworld map. This is obviously sped up, to figure out if there was anything else I could do. You know, like, you know, a lot of games, you hit a stumbling point going right, and you can go left. And other than replaying bosses that I had already fought, I just have this. So we go to easy difficulty, because I wasn't sure, and this was literally, if this didn't work, I was gonna bounce from the game. But so, because I was like, okay, well, if it doesn't let me progress, like, I know it won't give me their soul contract, but I couldn't remember if it would let me progress or not, open up, you know, a new part of the map, by going on easy mode. So we go to easy mode. As you can see, way less aggressive than the chaos that was hard mode, or regular mode, or whatever. I've gotten, and I mean, you know, I'd been fighting this boss for an hour, so, you know, I knew most of these attacks, even if they were slightly less chaotic. Because part of the problem with this level was just, like, there's so much chaos going on. Yeah, now we can kind of see the chaos here. In the end stage of the level, but it's like you jump one way and something kills you, and you jump another. You know, you jump out of the way of one thing and you get hit by another thing, and spacing, I don't know. It didn't really do it for me, but I got there. So I don't know. Hopefully this was comprehensible. So that's Cuphead for you. All the bosses from the first world. We'll see whether I continue with the game or not. If I do, then I'll probably post more videos of it. If not, then you'll probably see some videos of some other games, because I've been really enjoying this little format of sharing some of my videos of the games I've been playing and kind of talking over them. So look for more. Thanks for watching.